Russia's modern T-90 tanks are mainly AWOL in Ukraine, but the country has vast numbers of older tanks to fill the gaps. As confirmed vehicle losses meticulously compiled by Oryx and others show, of the almost 2,500 tanks lost, at least 1,267, over half, are from the T-72 series. The modernized version of this tank, known as T-72B3, is a mainstay of the Russian armored force. Unfortunately, it is a lemon, for reasons eloquently described in a Twitter X thread rant by an OSINT analyst who goes by the handle Trost. When you need tanks urgently, like Russia, which loses tanks every day, many bad tanks are better than no tanks, Trost told Forbes. But he says that by failing to upgrade the tanks with modern equipment, Russia was shooting itself in the foot. The T-72 series, sometimes described as the most widely used battle tank in the world, was first produced in 1972. The Soviet Union built around 25,000 and exported them around the world, from Angola to Venezuela, and from Algeria to Yemen. It was succeeded by the T-80 and then T-90 series, but thousands are still in Russian service and have been modernized, but the updating process does not go very far. Unlike modern Russian tanks like the T-90M, the T-72B3 does not even have satellite navigation. GPS systems may not have been added because the vehicles were made to be as cheap as possible to modernize, says Trost. But the fact that vehicles don't have this type of system is ridiculous, no matter how cheap the Russians wanted it to be. Trost says that T-72 crews apparently use consumer GPS systems, or go without. The lack of effective navigation when the vehicle is driving with hatches down might explain why T-72s sometimes end up in rivers or driving into lakes. Also missing is an effective thermal imager, an essential aid in night fighting. Russian media reports say that T-72B3s are now getting a thermal system which can detect targets from 3 kilometers away, but Trost says the reports have not been confirmed. So far none of this equipment have been seen on the battlefield, says Trost. This leaves tank commanders with a basic night vision system, which Trost says has effective range of around 500 meters. Making them easy targets for Ukrainian forces with modern long-range systems. It is a bizarre omission given that thermal imagers are now so cheap that the Russian are even equipping disposable FPV drones with them. The T-72s also suffer from a more basic design flaw: the lack of an effective reverse gear. Maximum reverse speed for T-72 is about 4 km per hour, 2.5 miles per hour. A slow walking pace. Maybe Russia wants to discourage its tankers from retreating, but if a tank is stuck in a minefield for other situation and needs to get out fast, rather than backing away, tank commanders are forced to turn their vehicle around. This makes the tank's thinly armored rear an obvious target for Ukrainian guns and missiles.